started, and ewe lambs tend to be a little bit over dramatic, like this one's just being right now. But we've got a few, 3 singles right here, and then there's a set of twins over in the corner. Really need to get them cleaned and fed, but we'll wait until after this one lambs here. And then I'll explain everything that's been going on around the farm here the last couple of days. Well, that was a big pull, but baby's okay. Just starting to get the meconium staining in the bag, but she was just not digressing. And I figured it was either a big lamb or maybe even a dead lamb, but it was just a big lamb. But I'm sure you've seen in that footage, I will slip a finger through the anus to get behind the head to give a little extra push for the head. Saves pulling on the front legs a little bit. You are awfully loud over there. So I will give Mama some painkiller, but she's not in shock completely. I try not to traumatize these ewe lambs, but here, check her milk, I guess. Oh yeah, thick, creamy. That baby's gonna grow nice and big. All right, so since I dropped you kind of like a hot potato this morning, girls are in the barn. They've started lambing. Let me give you a quick run through of everything here. So you will notice out of the strip, there's going to be a lot more singles, especially at the beginning and at the end. It tends to be how ewe lambs are. I'm honestly okay for my Dorper ewes to only have one. I just find it makes them better mothers later. My God, that's going to be hard to talk without you. But this was the first little boy that was born. Didn't see him being born. I'm assuming everything was good. Her milk's good. And this little cutie, so I again didn't see him born. Put them in the pen, checked milk, and Mom doesn't have a ton of milk. She's now coming, I guess this baby's 3 days old, and she's really coming into it now. So another little boy. And then this little girl, she's tiny. I think she was like 5.5 pounds. So she had a set of twins, and she's a fantastic mom, just like her mom. And add a little color because I think she's the last speckled one I have left. And then this noisy little brat, she had these two this morning at chore time, and you know, she's a great mom other than being extremely vocal. And then obviously this one that I just pulled here, which they're going to be a little bit slower getting up. Just it's kind of a hard situation there. But as he's flailing around there, at least he's she, I think, has actually got her head up and wanting to get up. So as Mom continues to lick her, they'll figure it out. I'm not overly concerned about this. It just, you know, this is farming, and I wanted to show the real and true farming, that it's not all sunshine and rainbows where they pop out and, you know, are a good sized lamb. Like these, to me, are too small of twins. Those ones are getting a little bit better, but these guys, I haven't weighed them yet, but I think they're only like 6 pounds. To me, that's too small, but out of a first time mom, I'm okay with that. I kind of roll with it with the ewe lambs, but if I had a ewe that had 6 pound twins, like as an aged ewe, she would be gone. Because obviously she's taking way too much for her own body and not giving it to her lambs. But in saying that, this lamb is too big. So it's, you gotta kind of just flow with it, but also make decisions on calling as to, you know, what you want to keep and what you don't. And if you see this little contraption on the wall, I have finally broken down and accepted putting Wi-Fi in this barn. And why I decided to do that is for this camera. I have another one that I need to install a little bit later, and I need to mount that one up a little bit taller and put it flat so that I can see low enough across the way. But if you know me in life, you know that I hate being watched, and I hate cameras, even though I decided to start a YouTube channel. But anyway, that's a whole other story. I decided this year, because this group would normally be lambing in April. I always try and aim for April 1st or, you know, sometime in April as a start date for these guys. And if you remember back to last year, you remember that I was busy with feed alleys and, you know, finishing up the program and the off-calf funding program, all of the things that I had going on. So I missed the start of their flush ration. They weren't in the greatest of shape when I was going to do that. So I opted to start them on that flush. So then I was another 2 weeks of graining them or feeding them really good hay, got their body condition scores up, and then decided to breed them. So it ended up being, you know, pretty much a month late, which is going to interfere with a lot of different things this year, because irregardless of whether I would have got this 2025 off-calf funding, I would have been busy in May. So I kind of put the bug in an ear and tried to figure out how to make it work with Wi-Fi out in the barn here. So I have a camera. I don't enjoy the fact that it's here, but at the same time, if I have to run somewhere, or if, you know, if I'm working out the back of the property and instead of driving all the way up from what I'm working on, I can check the camera. So it's going to save some time, you know, hopefully if it can save a lamb's life in the meantime, then that works for me. But if not, I've just become one of that club now where I'm going to have cameras in the barn. Yeah, come outside where you can hear me a little bit better. You can probably hear the other ones in the background. It's feeding time, so they're probably going to be wanting to get fed. But if you guys are on my Facebook page, you'll probably already know this. But what I decided to do, and I probably shouldn't have because I got enough on the go this year, is I had sold 2 donkeys to a family up in northern Alberta, or well, north central Alberta, and they had loved them for a number of years, and just, you know, life changes and everything else. So I ended up, they offered the donkeys for me to buy them back. So I ended up buying back Churro and Beans. So Beans would have been introduced on this channel when he was a baby. He is coming to this summer, and you'll be seeing him a bunch on the channel until so here's the plan with him. Churro, which is from one of the other donkeys, like they're both progeny of the donkeys that I have, the Jennies that I have. But what I want to do is put Beans onto Chiquita, which is the gray donkey, and which is also Churro's mom. So those two will hopefully be bred for foaling in 2027. And I'm hoping that Chiquita, the brown donkey, is pregnant for this year. I haven't seen her cycling, and she looks awfully round. So I'm hoping that that is that is a for sure thing. But in the spirit of buying that and everything, I decided that I was going to keep looking on Facebook, and I found one hell of a deal, and I feel like I stole her, but let me introduce you to Fly. I want to talk about red mare energy. There it is right there. Any horse people will get that comment. So Fly is a 7-year-old Belgian quarter horse cross. She's big. She's very pretty, even though she looks like a donkey right now. There you go. That makes you look a little bit better. The plan with Fly is she is going to get broke to ride. She is not broke to ride. She's been well handled, but she's not broke to ride. So she's gonna get a saddle on her and gonna accept a rider. But I'll probably pack her this first year. I do a lot of trips, or I used to do a lot of trips, I should say, out into the West Country with horses and packs. And this mare is gonna be part of that string, and then eventually broke to ride and probably be ridden out there. So really super excited for Fly, and because I didn't have enough red mare energy with my red roan paint filly Lexi, who her bum was just right there. There's her bum. I decided to add even more red mare energy. But yeah, like I needed another project this year, but it was one of those types of deals that it's almost too good to be true. And if anyone is a horse person on the channel and knows what good horses are worth right now, you will know that I got this mare at a really, really smoking deal. So you coming to say hi? I think she's not, you know, in your pocket friendly, but she is handled and she likes people. So, but yeah, she's big. So in the spirit of all this buying that I'm doing, I did purchase 2 semi-loads of hay, and then also plus 20 bales from the neighbor. Because as you can see, we have still not gotten any rain. We have still not gotten any moisture, and I'm kind of going into a bit of a drought preparedness for the summer. If anyone remembers from a couple videos ago, I think I had a little bit of a view of it, but we had an absolute lake in our one pasture that I call Lefty's pasture, because that was my old paint stud. And it was just an absolute lake. And last year, the top of the hill, I thought a spring had just come through. Well, you know, the family's been on property here for about 50 years, not quite 50 years, and didn't even know that the water line for the next county actually went through our land, and it never showed up on any Alberta One calls or any of that. So anyway, long story short, has determined that it is a kind of a water main county pipeline leak, and it has overflowed. The dugout was starting to come over the road, so we've now got that pumped and under control. The guys have been out here for basically a week trying to get it pumped and get it down. And in the process of that, they were able to water that one pasture where I did a whole bunch of seeding last year. And now the regrowth coming this year is looking really good too. And now that it's been watered, it looks even better. It's like the only pasture of mine that's green right now. So that is really, really cool. Hopefully they will not have to destroy too much of it in order to dig down to find that leak. So we'll see what happens with that once it comes, but that's pretty cool. But then, yeah, I decided that I was going to purchase a whole bunch of 2025 hay, more or less because, you know, diesel prices are up. There's all sorts of things that are happening in this world, and who knows what this year is going to bring as far as hay prices. So I decided that I wanted to have some, you know, stockpiled here just in case, because if we don't get rain, if we end up having, you know, anything happen, at least I feel like I kind of have a bit of a backup right now. And then, yeah, I do have 2 dugouts on my little 35-acre piece here, so I can water pastures if needed. But if we run short on pasture, you know, I'm going to be feeding very, very early. So I'd rather have too much feed on hand than not enough. So yeah, I opted to purchase those. I've just been on such a purchasing thing lately, because I can turn you around and show you even more things that I've purchased. Short little video, keep you up to date on lambing. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.